Hey, what's up, everybody? Joe Munoz here from OneStepPrep.com. I am streaming live on YouTube and Facebook right now. This was not a planned event. So if you're wondering, hey, how come I didn't know about this? We didn't send out any emails about this. We didn't send out anything. There was no Facebook posts. There was no uploads to any social media of any kind. But look, the reason that I'm streaming this live right now is because, as you can tell, it's a Saturday, and we're here working, and what I'm doing is I'm answering a bunch of questions that came in last night with regard to everything training related, everything from how to get started, what to be looking for, what are some of the pitfalls in type training, things like that. And so, look, that's the reason that I'm going live, because one question in the process of doing this, and I'm sorry if I'm kind of looking up and down. I got Facebook streaming on one end, I got YouTube streaming on the other side. The reason that I started this, like I said, in going through these questions, okay, one question stood out to me that's like, I need to go live and address this right now, because this is so important for you to understand what I'm about to tell you with training. And so I said, you know what, let me start this live stream right now. Now, look, somebody sent in a question, okay, which I just answered them. And the question was, what do I do if I get behind in training? Like let's say you're going through type training. Maybe it's initial, recurrent, it's upgrade. You're paying for a type rating. You're at a 121 airline. You're at a 142 school. You're getting behind on your training. So the question that came in, and this is again while I'm doing this live stream, the question came in and they were like, hey, what do I do if I am getting behind in my training program? Now, look, guys, there's only two things you can do. I sent this email response out. There are only two things that you can do. Okay, the first thing is accelerate your learning curve. Okay, that's option number one. Option number two is buy more time. Okay, so you can either accelerate the learning curve or you can buy more time. Now, which one you're going to do, or maybe even a combination of both, is dependent entirely upon what training environment are you in, where are you at in the training. Okay, if you're going to buy more time, preferably you buy the time before you ever get to training. What I mean by that is prep. You need to be prepping, right? So buy the time, preferably before you ever get into training. You should not be buying the time while you're in training. And this is my point with this, is that prep work. And if you've watched and heard myself and Juan before, you know that we're so adamant about this stuff. Buy the time beforehand so that you do not end up having to consult your air carrier and saying, hey, I need additional time. And that is something that may or may not go well. Okay, if you're paying for a type rating and you need more time, it's very simple, because, well, all you got to do is go to scheduling and say, look, let me take the next 2 days off. Let me take the next 3 days off. You're paying for the type rating. You have your full right to do that. So it's a little bit different. When you're in a training environment at an airline 121, they're the ones that are sponsoring you. They're paying for the training. A lot different for you to go to them and say, hey, look, I need 2-3 days off so I can catch up. They don't sympathize with that as much. So my point is, make sure that when you go into training at an airline, particularly, you don't buy the time when you're in training, you buy it prior, and you're going to do that in terms of preparation. Now, the other thing is accelerating your learning curve. Okay, how do you accelerate your learning curve? There's a couple ways. Number one, you know what I'm going to say. Most importantly, right? Number one, I think the best way for you to accelerate your learning curve is through video training. Okay, there's so much content and so much information packed into these online courses that we have here at OneStepPrep.com. Look, this is why we offer the pass guarantee. That has been created as a means in order to accelerate the learning curve. You got to understand something about myself and about Juan. We have trained pilots with as little as 250 hours on the 7.3 and on the 320, and they have successfully passed type rating courses. Okay, I know that sounds crazy, but the fact of the matter is it's true. We have done that before. Now, the thing is, when you're doing things like that, you got to find a way to accelerate this person's learning curve, because they don't know anything that's jet related. Okay, there's a foundation that's missing. For example, hot start, hung start, no light off, no EGT. When we're talking about starts, for example, something just as basic as that. Look, guys, if you don't know what that is and you're going into type rating training, you're behind the power curve, because now we end up spending that time obviously discussing those topics instead of the actual aircraft specific stuff and content itself. So look, the videos were, of course, a great solution to that, to accelerate the learning curve so that we could work with these 250-hour, 300-hour pilots and get them in a position where, they're able to do this. They're able to pass type ratings and do it effortlessly. To tell you the truth, they do it effortlessly. So, and you need to be doing it effortlessly as well, and you can do that with the videos. Now, look, the other way that you can accelerate your learning curve is studying with partners. All right. So, look, if you're studying on your own, I would recommend that for the videos. When you're by yourself, consult the videos. Okay. When you're with a partner, and hopefully you get with a partner. Okay, like I said, it's more beneficial for you to be in groups, and the more the better. So you can exchange ideas, exchange thoughts, quiz each other, get different angles, get different views, sight pictures, right? See what the different thought processes are amongst your pilot group. So the best thing you can do to accelerate the learning curve, first being the videos, but the second thing, like I said, you need to study in groups. All right. So look, the reason for the live stream once more is because I answer questions, right, and all the time. Like I said, it's Saturday, it's Sunday. I don't know what day it is. It doesn't matter to me because around the clock, no matter what day of the week it is, we're answering questions. Now, a question came through, which was, what do I do if I get behind training? And this was the whole reason why I'm like, look, I need to start a live stream right now because this is such an important topic. What do you do if you get behind in training? That I want to address this to everybody right now. So remember, there's two things you can do: accelerate the learning curve, or right, you can also buy more time. But remember that buying more time is going to be preferable for you to buy the time before you ever start your training program, because once you're in that training program, it's difficult to buy time unless you're paying for your rating. If you're paying, a little bit different story. But once you're at a carrier and you're trying to buy time there, they may not sympathize with that, and it could even cost you your job. All right, so just keep that in mind. Accelerate the curve, buy some time, put in the prep work. And those are the two answers that I would give you for how or what would I do if I get behind in training? How would I address that? That's what you're going to want to do. All right. Send in your questions. My email is joe.m at onestepprep.com. It is the number one, not spelled out one. It's One Step Prep. So joe.m at onestepprep.com. Send in those questions. And look, get let me show you this really quick. We got this thing going on. If we find you in an airport with a crew tag and you think I care, I got it on my bag. I got my crew tags on my bag. Look, One Step Prep crew. If we find you in an airport, One Step Prep crew like this, like I did this morning in Detroit. Okay, I found a crew member in Detroit with a crew tag like that. We're giving away a video membership for free. All right. You get the crew tag. We find you in the airport with the crew tag, man. We're going to take a picture with you and we're going to hook you up with a free membership to guarantee you learn and pass all aspects of your training. Be well, do well, excel. Look forward to chatting some more with you, more live streams and more question answering. I got to get back to it right now. I still got a lot of questions to answer. So I'm going to get back to work on this Saturday. You all enjoy that weekend and get out there. And like I said, do well and excel.